So earlier this week, Microsoft announced the Xbox One S all-digital version. And unfortunately, I really think that it misses the mark. They could have done a better job with releasing this for many reasons. I think currently that the Xbox One S with the 4K Blu-ray player in it is a much better value, and that's where I put my money because I purchased one. Now, I did buy one a while ago, and I've been using it primarily as a 4K Blu-ray player, but I thought it was a great time right now because it's very topical to release the unboxing of my Xbox One S. And then after that unboxing, we can talk about why I think that the Xbox One S all-digital version kind of falls short. So if you want to see the unboxing, enjoy the unboxing. If you want to skip ahead to my thoughts on the all-digital version, you can click on, or not click on, but you can skip ahead to the timestamp right here. So I got this Xbox One S during the time that they had the Black Friday deal for the Xbox One S that was highly discounted. You had a 500 gigabyte model, brand new, that was going for $189.99. And you could get different deals here and there, but that's generally what the deal was. And at that time I thought, well, if it's discounted at the stores, that discount will be reflected on eBay auctions, because eBay auctions pretty much just sell for market value. And if the market can get a brand new console for a deep discount, people are going to spend less money on the auctions. So I thought, let me see what's over there. So I checked out and I found this model here. So at the top of the video you saw that I spent a little bit more than $189.99. Of course, if you buy that brand new with taxes, you're talking about $200 roughly. So $200 versus the $230 some odd dollars that I spent on this. So for $30 of a difference, what I got was I got Gears of War 4. Now I wanted to get this game anyway, but this game also comes with the first 4 games. Obviously Gears of War 4 is the 4th in the series, except there was one called Gears of War Judgment in there, which makes this actually the 5th game in the series. But it includes all 5 games, so that's a savings right there, or a perk above the $189 Xbox One S that was available at the time. Also with this one, it's a 1 terabyte Xbox One S. So I'm getting 500 gigabytes more, or double the hard drive space in here versus the other model, for an extra $30 plus the game. So I thought it was worth the trade-off. So this one, at least as the auction listing said, this one was only used as a 4K Blu-ray player. So they never used the controller, which kind of stands to reason because they never opened the batteries. And supposedly they never used the game or any of the game codes, so that's good. So the only thing with this Xbox One S is that, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit dirty up here. So that should clean off, not a big deal. This is going to be standing in my, or sitting, or however you want to say it, but it's going to be in my entertainment center, so it's not something that I'm going to be looking at too much, and all of that's going to be hidden even if I can't get the dirt off. You know, you have this matte plastic, which I like. I don't like glossy plastic on any of my electronics. You have these dimples in here, and then of course you have the venting here for the large fan over here, and everything is this matte white plastic. You have the Xbox branding embossed up here, which is nice. Up front, you have more of those dimples. You have the Xbox button here, which is actually a physical button on the Xbox One S versus the touch-sensitive button that was on the original Xbox One. You have your eject button here. You have probably, what is this, a pairing button here. You have your IR sensor here. You have one front-mounted USB port here. The black down here is, again, matte black plastic. Everything is matte. You have your slot-loading Blu-ray tray here. Over on this side, you have some venting, and you have all those little dimples there. On the back, you have your power port here, and the big thing about the Xbox One S, other than the fact that it was smaller, was that you didn't need that power brick anymore. So all that power transformer and whatnot is on the inside. You have, of course, your HDMI pass-through, your HDMI in, your HDMI out. You have a USB port here, high speed. You have another one here, another high-speed port. You have your IR here, your IR port here. You have an optical audio out, and then of course you have an Ethernet port here. You also have a Kensington lock back here. So on the bottom, there's really nothing going on down here. A little bit of scrapes down here, not a big deal. It says Xbox One, model, what is that, 15 or 16? Model 1681. And then it says, hello from Seattle over here. You got a little bit of a line there. You have an Xbox embossed logo up there. And of course you have your 4 rubberized feet on the bottom here, very tiny feet. Of course, this can stand upright. I thought that these things did come with a vertical stand, but maybe not so much anymore. I don't think I would stand it up anyway. I might try and get my hands on one just so I can have the option, only if it's fairly inexpensive. But, you know, Xbox One S, the reason I'm getting it is because I have a 4K TV now, and I want a 4K Blu-ray player, and I did want to get an Xbox at some point. I did a video earlier, maybe a couple months ago now, how I'm not going to buy an Xbox One X because it's just something I don't think I need, and I still feel that way. I still feel that I do not need the Xbox One X because I have a gaming PC. Basically, that's what it boils down to. But it's nice to have an Xbox One S because it's unfortunate that S and X sound so similar. But the reason I'm getting this is primarily as a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player. But also, you know, maybe I'll play a couple of Xbox One games here and there. I actually picked up these 2 titles pretty inexpensively. They're brand new, got them from Best Buy. Sunset Overdrive is not a game that you can play on your PC. Recore is, but I did want to play it anyway, so I thought, well, I'm getting an Xbox One S, might as well get some games for it. So that's that. Of course, let's go over some of the less interesting stuff. You have your power cord here, just your regular figure 8 power cord. Comes with a high-speed HDMI cord. Looks like it's never been used, so that's good. Again, like I said, they said that the controller was never used, and I believe it because they never used the batteries. So that's nice. I won't be putting my hands on something that, a lot of times when you get a used console, it's some of the controllers can be pretty gross, but that's nice. So I think that we can all agree that physical media is going to be a thing of the past. Not today necessarily, not tomorrow necessarily, but sometime down the line. I mean, if you play video games on mobile, it's all download. If you play games on your PC, those are all downloaded games. If you play games on consoles, now you're getting probably, I don't know the exact split, but I know in some cases some games sell better digitally than they do physically. So we're getting to a point where people are getting more used to just downloading their games. So an all-digital video game console is right around the corner, which is going to be a mainstream console. But the question is the Xbox One S all-digital version a good value today? And I don't think it is. The first reason of which is that the Xbox One S, if you buy a brand new one, the MSRP on that is $299.99, basically $300. The all-digital version is $249.99, $250. So there's a $50 price difference there in theory. But as of today, if you go onto Amazon, and I took some notes here, if you go onto Amazon, you can get some bundles The Anthem bundle. We're not going to talk on the quality of Anthem. I've personally never played it, but I understand people are not happy with that game. But if you buy the 1 terabyte Xbox One S Anthem bundle, which is the same hard drive space as the 1 terabyte all-digital Xbox One S, you can get the Anthem bundle right now for $249.99 brand new on Amazon. If you want the 1 terabyte Battlefield 5 Xbox One S, and these are all with the drives in it. This is with the 4K Blu-ray player drive in it, the Anthem bundle and the Battlefield bundle. You can get a brand new Xbox One S Battlefield 5 bundle for $229.90. So actually less than that $249.99 that you can pre-order the Xbox One S all-digital version for right now. So that $50 price difference in theory is nice, but in practice, it's out the window. So where is the value in buying this system? It doesn't exist. Obviously, I bought my Xbox One S used, so that's a whole other avenue of getting an Xbox One S. So you can buy it used, or you can buy it brand new right now for less than you can get the Xbox One S all-digital model, which is a problem. So how about that 4K Blu-ray player? Is it worth the trade-off? Is it worth that $50 theoretical difference, which we've proven that it's not a real-world difference, but is it worth the trade-off? I say no. I mean, even if I would be downloading my games, I would still like the ability or availability to use a disc player where you can play DVDs in, you can play regular Blu-rays or 4K Blu-rays. Personally, I use my Xbox One S primarily as a 4K Blu-ray player. So one could argue that I'm really not the target audience for this new all-digital version, but considering there really is no price difference, and there might even be a price difference in favor of buying the regular Xbox One S with the 4K Blu-ray player in it, there's really no argument to be made about the savings. Now, a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player, takes up about 20% roughly of the space inside the Xbox One S. Yet, the all-digital version has the same footprint. It is the same exact dimensions of the previous model that had the Blu-ray player in it, even though it does not have the Blu-ray player in it. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see one of the teardowns on one of these things, but you're going to have roughly 20% of that console just vacant in there because they're using the same shell. So that leads me to believe that this is sort of Microsoft just testing the waters. They're not really serious about this all-digital version. Basically, they just are using the same molds or very similar molds to make these. They're not even changing the color on it. I would think that if Microsoft is going to launch a new product like this, they would be a little more forceful and make it an interesting color, maybe transparent, and design it differently, because you have approximately 20% less innards inside that chassis. You can make the console smaller. So you would think that that would be one of the things they did, but they didn't on this. So it's a little lazy in my book. So what about used games and backward compatibility? Well, neither of which are going to be available on this system in disc form for obvious reasons. You can go to GameStop, or you can go to eBay, you can go to Game Exchange, or any local mom and pop video game store and get used games pretty cheap, especially last generation games. And as we approach the end of this current generation, the Xbox One is going to be last generation within probably a year and a half or so. But right now, at the time of filming this video, you can get a lot of used games from these stores, a lot of Xbox One games for less than $10. Also, the backward compatibility games. If you have a library of games of Xbox 360 games and you just want to take one of those games out of the library, you're not going to be able to play it in this all-digital version. So I think this console really misses the mark. I think Microsoft could have been a little bit more forceful in what they were doing with this to market it a little bit better. I mean, it's the same exact color as a regular Xbox One S. And the only difference is obviously, like the kind of comedic little rollout video that they did about it, was that, you know, they just deleted basically the slot where you put the Blu-ray in there. So
I think it's a little bit lazy as the way they designed it. I think they could have made it look better, and I think that the price difference makes sense. A $50 price difference. The 4K Blu-ray player probably costs them roughly about $50, so that makes sense to have the price difference, $50. But when you think of the long term on it, Microsoft is going to be selling you these games digitally directly. They're not dealing with a middleman. They're not dealing with Best Buy. They're not dealing with Amazon. They're not dealing with GameStop. They're dealing with the customer directly. So there should be able to be some savings there. I'm not saying that they should make the games cheaper digitally, although that would be nice. But if they made the system cheaper, they'd make it up on the games in the long run. So if they made this system below $200, maybe $175, sure, they'd be taking a hit up front, but they'd make it up on the games because they're selling these things to you directly. There is no middleman that they have to share this with. So I think that Microsoft unfortunately missed the mark on this, and it's going to show in the sales, and then they're going to think that, oh, we're not ready for all digital, when in reality, I think they just did it wrong. So that's going to do it for this video. What do you think about the Microsoft Xbox One S all digital version? Are we ready for it? Are we not? What are your thoughts? Post them down below, and I always read all comments, and I will respond to them generally once a week. So if you have something to say and I have to respond to it, I will. If you want to help out this channel, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share this video on your favorite social media. You can join my Patreon. All of those things are greatly appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And then hit that bell so that you know when my new videos are you'll be notified when my new videos are posted. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.